Welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So this is going to be your general weekly reading for December 6th through the 12th. And I'm going to be doing around a zodiacs plus kind of overall this week, you know, pulling a card for money, career, love, just things you want to be aware of this week. Now, again, this is general, so it's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay. And if you're interested in more readings and things like that, you're welcome to follow me on TikTok. That's probably where I post more often, including this page. But, and if you're looking obviously for more one-on-one, you're welcome to reach out to me. All that stuff's on my website, okay? All right. So if you're new to my channel, feel free to follow if the message resonates. If you're a return subject, always appreciate it. And again, you know, this upcoming holiday season, a lot of people get stuck on what they should get people. You know, reading is always kind of a cool thing to gift someone. You can buy a gift card for someone. I have tarot candle readings, so kind of try to make it available for different folks and what they're looking for, okay? All right. Let's see what we got going on this week. All right. Okay. You know, I feel like for a lot of you this week, you're seeing things from a different perspective. I think that you're starting to recognize the need for behaviors, patterns, things to come to a close, come to end. And you have the power to do that a lot of times when it's concerning yourself. Overall, we have the Nine of Swords. Not the easiest energy to work from, but the positive on this is that there's realizing and recognizing that there needs to be some shadow work, some healing work that needs to happen. For some of you, you're already going through this. The Nine of Swords is if you feel bound, the energy you feel, you know, helpless, you feel bound to something, very stressful, very frustrating. And it could just be accumulation of things that have piled up and you're just kind of at a point where you're like, I'm at the end of 2021, I haven't accomplished anything, right? Or, you know, and this is general, by the way, so every single person is different. Or you're to a point where you're just like really pissed off or sad and just irritated, and it's something that's keeping you up at night. Your thoughts are getting the best of you with this card. A lot of times, the Nine of Swords indicates that you're overthinking, and you're thinking about the situation almost worse than what it really is, right? We're all guilty of that. Of making a scenario far worse than actually what's in front of you. The Nine of Swords, though, it's almost out of completion. So awareness is the first step, right? If you don't like how things are going in your life or the direction you're taking, take a pause, take a step back, and kind of evaluate what are the things I can control and what are the things I can't. Because the things you can't control are usually outside of yourself, and don't worry about those, okay? Can't worry about what other people think or say or do, you know, what the economy is going to be like, you know, supply chain, is there a market crash? There's a lot of things out of your individual control. And I think for some of you, taking this step back and having just some quiet time and looking through this as maybe a problem and breaking it down, you're going to start to see things in a different way. Okay. Spirit is also saying music can be very healing for a lot of you, which music is usually very healing in general. But maybe you get your best ideas and best thoughts when music is playing. It can be instrumental, it can be whatever your genre is, right? But it's something that helps you kind of slip in a more meditative state. Okay. Spirit is also saying cleansing baths, you know, things like that just kind of help purge. Salt baths, things like that. And again, you know, you're welcome to reach out to your physician if you want more information on that. The thing with the Nine of Swords is that you're actually not bound to the problem. You think you are. But there is a need for some deep diving, some reflection work, and identifying where the problem really is. What's the core root issue that you're going through, what you're experiencing, okay? I think for a lot of you, it is taking a step back and balancing. Mental health is really crucial all times of the year, but especially this month. The holidays are not easy for everyone. So realize that there's resources out there, and please be gentle with yourself because you are loved, okay? You are thought of. And I think for a lot of you, especially this time of year, it's always about, you know, the gift giving and the, you know, parties and, you know, shopping and all that can be fun, but it's not necessarily what it's about. Regardless if you celebrate or don't, okay? This is a time of year to remember that peace should be a priority. And for a lot of you, doing something and putting yourself in a situation that gives you peace is going to be extremely important, okay? For some of you, it could just be starting to move your body, starting to put, you know, like, what am I thinking? It's like putting tasks every single day in place. And I'm forgetting the word that I need at this moment. That always happens when I channel. But it's like if you're starting to, you know, like for me, I'll give you an example. I'm starting to do Pilates, where I've done them before, but now I'm going to a place where it's like the the reformer machine, not the regulator, the reformer machine. I obviously haven't been enough because I keep saying it wrong. The reformer machine, you know, but it's like moving your body and it's about the breath and it's like getting myself in a consistent mode to put myself, my health, my physical health as well, my mental as a priority every day. So I can show up and be my best, not only for myself, but for other people. Okay, that's just a small example. Okay, so I think this week is a lot of reflection and what you should be prioritizing and what are the most important things and things that can be very much secondary, okay? So when it comes to money, really great card, 10 of Pentacles. You know, I think for a lot of you, this certainly isn't about, you know, blowing all your dollars, but if you have a little to spend and you're willing to kind of, you know, you want to do some things for your family and friends and loved ones, you might have the extra means to do that this week. And one thing I will say, the 10 of Pentacles is all about thinking long term. It's all about, you know, having resources, building resources, accruing wealth. For some of you, a very, very small portion of you, and I always like to say this with this card because it could be a possibility, but there could be, you know, lottery. You might want to pick a lotto card. For some of you, you might be, you know, notified that you're inheriting something, real estate, investments, things like that. But one thing with money is that you're starting to look for the long term. You're starting to see money as like, how can it work for you? Okay. How can it work for you? This is about having money not only for you now presently, but 5, 10, 15, 20 years, even for your children's children. So generational wealth, creating financial freedom. So learning how to invest smarter, learning how to bring your debt down, things like that. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, so please work with a professional. But for a lot of you, you're starting to see, you know, other ways like cryptocurrency and other ways that you can build wealth, okay? And no, this does not happen overnight. The 10 of Pentacles, I'm always wary of things that are going to happen instantly because it can be taken instantly too. This is about learning, building, and having that knowledge and expertise that you can do it over and over and over again, okay? Knowledge is power in this situation. So career. Now, we have we have 7 of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of coins this week. So 7 of Pentacles. For some of you, and I hate saying this word, but Spirit is saying some of you are getting a little lazy, a little lackadaisical. So if you're wanting change, you got to put your foot on the gas. You got to be dedicated. You have to be consistent. There's no way getting around it. Is it a lot of work? Yeah, absolutely it is. But the 7 of Pentacles is indicating that you're not going to see and reap the rewards that you're wanting unless you put in the work. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to get up at 3 a.m. and work, 18, 19-hour days. I'm saying that you have to be consistent and dedicated and focused on building. Okay, this is like wanting to plant the seed and eat the fruit in the same day. It doesn't work like that. It takes time, okay? It takes time to build industry expertise, you know, learning on the job. It takes expertise to learn how to lead people, to get enough experience so you can, you know, interview for other higher level roles for a higher paying salary. For some of you, need to learn and understand that it's really important that you learn to crawl before you walk, before you run. And we all want instant gratification because that is the society and the life, you know, this is kind of the time that's what's, we have social media and all this where you see like 12-year-olds making gazillions of dollars creating NFTs. You know, but again, there is a purpose. You need to sit back and educate yourself. Be consistent, be diligent. How bad do you want this? How bad do you want your career to grow and excel? How much do you want that promotion, that other job? You have to figure out what it's going to take to get to that next point. I think for some of you, you're not necessarily happy in the job that you're at. And, you know, I will say it's always better to find a job when you have one. But keep an eye out. And this is, you don't need cards for this. If you've been in any kind of corporate industry, you probably are aware of this. But a lot of experts have been saying, you know, the Great Resignation, and a lot of people are freaking out. Many experts are saying wait until after January, because a lot of times that's when people get paid bonuses. Watch them leave. So there could be a lot of openings in January. So keep your eye out. Make those connections. Build that network. Be proactive. Pick up the phone. Write that email. Okay? There's no excuse. I know that's hard to hear, but I remember having someone tell me that when I was like, why can't this just happen? Because you have to work like everyone else. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. Okay? So when it comes to relationships, I'm going to pull one more card because I always find this to be a very interesting energy. Okay, so we got the Justice card, which represents Libra. And then I pulled the Hermit card. So, for some of you, you know, when it comes to relationships, if you're in a relationship, for some of you, you're kind of reallocating, you're looking at maybe assets, you're kind of looking at maybe trusts, or you're looking at kind of legal paperwork as a couple, kind of how you want to divide and conquer your stuff. You know, looking at wills and all of that stuff. And it's not to scare you, but it's just to be proactive and be smart, you know. The Justice card, it's all about you know, kind of staying balanced, really. And not that any relationship is 50-50, that's not necessarily what I'm saying, but I think for as a couple, as a unit, you're starting to look at, you know, how do we set ourselves up so we're, you know, protected? How do we, you know, look at, you know, what we own, and, you know, when do we put someone's name, you know, as like a beneficiary? Looking at that kind of stuff. How to protect yourself as a couple and your assets. I feel like for a lot of you, that's kind of what you're looking for. And also, the Justice card is about being fair. It's about trying, and it's not about the emotional piece of it. It's just being very like smart and cut and dry, kind of to the facts, right? So I think for a lot of you, you're kind of having these really candid conversations and you're being smart about it, as you should. And congratulations if what you're kind of doing, you know, handling it very, you know, to the point, which is my favorite way of handling most everything. Then you have the Hermit card. The Hermit card, it could be that, you know, if you're as a couple and you're kind of going through this, you could be very quiet. You could be very, you know, you're not talking about this. You're not sharing kind of your plans. Very smart. You're being very methodical. You're kind of keeping to yourself. You're really trying to figure things out. What are the best things to do, and to, you know, the path that you want to take. If you're single, oh man. I think that if you're single, I really don't see you, especially with the Hermit card here, I don't see you just, you know, barreling out to the bars and on the apps and stuff like that. I feel like you're really trying to keep a very balanced lifestyle. There was a very funny video that I saw on TikTok that a friend shared with me that said the single woman is like, I don't really know if I have room right now in my life for anyone else. I have a Dyson. I'm professionally very sound. I just like don't need anything and I don't want anything. And if you're just if you're being honest with yourself, and that's kind of where you're at, even though that's kind of a funny example, I think for a lot of you, you're kind of just getting back into a place where you are feeling very kind of at peace, at ease. You know, you're professionally really good. Personally, you're starting to get your feet, you know, underneath you, and you're very focused on building yourself. And, you know, again, I feel like you're very career driven maybe right now. And you've gone through a lot of healing work. And so, you know, you're just kind of like, look, if it doesn't add value in my life right now, I'm not rushing to jump into anything. I'm fine. So I feel like singles are just kind of like contemplating, and, you know, that doesn't mean that you're completely shut off to relationship and love in the future. But I think right now you're just being honest with yourself, and you're just like, you know what, I'm okay. And that's perfectly fine. All right. There's, you know, you shouldn't jump into a relationship just because. You really should be at a position emotionally, mentally, where you actually want to. And you're going to be dedicated to put energy and time in it. And if you're not, that's totally fine. So, you know, again, this week, a lot of kind of going within and definitely working on yourself, which is all good. Okay, so let me take one sip of my water because... All right, we're going to do a round of zodiacs. And I'll just start with, I will start with Sagittarius, and I'll end on Scorpio, okay? And again, if you guys are wanting monthly readings, definitely sign up for my newsletter, because that is where I'm sending them. And I promise, again, I won't spam you. I won't. I don't got time to send that many emails. Okay, Sagittarius. By the way, if you're a Sagittarius, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Sag. Okay, Sagittarius. In your time of year, in your season, ring-a-ding-ding, you got the 8 of Wands. There could be some long-distance communication, Sagittarius, that you've been waiting for or looking forward to. Sag, you know, I feel like you are getting to the point where you want to bust out of your seams. You want adventure. You want to get outside. You want to go travel. And you could. I mean, this could be some, you know, last-minute travel or doing something fun. Doing even a staycation or... you know, kind of like a local, you know, just do something fun, do something spontaneous, because Sag, you're always up for it. So find your people, find your tribe, and like get your ass out there and have some fun. It's your celebration time. Enjoy it, okay? But again, there could be some communication. It's very swift. There could have been delays before, and now you might hear something sooner than you think, okay? Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, you got 5 of Pentacles. Cap, I think I feel like you might be a little stressed. When aren't you stressed, Cap? No, Capricorn, I feel like maybe this time of year, like when you're spending money, I feel like you're nervous and how you're going to be able to build that money back. Don't panic, Capricorn. You guys are masters at making money. You know, just because you spend something, or it's gifts or for loved ones or even on yourself, like don't get frantic. It's probably not buyer's remorse. Just because you see the numbers in your account go down doesn't mean that you won't be able to build it back up. So don't panic, okay, Capricorn? Aquarius. All right, 6 of Swords. So could be some travel, Aquarius. This could be, you might be thinking international travel. Aquas, I feel like, you know, these last couple months have not been the easiest. And so now, not that it's going to be smooth sailing, but I think for a lot of you who have done the work, you're starting to see a little bit more like the light at the end of the tunnel. You're starting to realize that like you have more control over yourself than you give yourself credit for. And especially over your emotions and thoughts. That's key, Aquarius. You get too much, you know, in your head, and then you go into a downward spiral. But for some of you, again, you could be kind of starting to feel a little bit of ease, less pressure. You're having more, you know, traction, but also there could be some travel in your horizon. Pisces. Pisces, you got Ace of Wands, rods. This deck is rods, whatever, wands. Pisces, fantastic new start, new beginning, a lot of creativity I see for you. Music, drawing, painting, poetry, writing, whatever it is, Pisces, moving your body. You are a water sign, so being next to water, in water, maybe it's swimming, maybe it's, you know, whatever, yoga. Get out there. Let your creativity just flow. Don't try to harness it. Don't try to control it. Just let it flow. Again, water might be, you know, a good outlet for you, Pisces. You're obviously a water sign, so water is really, you're connected to that. Meditation can also help, Pisces. And again, meditation can be anything. It doesn't have to be traditional crisscross applesauce. But let things just flow. Stop trying to overthink it. Just be. Aries. Knight of Cups. Aries, you're a charming devil. You are charming, and you're very assertive, very confident, have a powerful presence. Aries, love the Knight of Cups. You could be, you know, seeing someone or that you're interested in, okay? Even if you're single, you might see a person that you're interested in and might want to approach. What I'm going to tell you, Aries, is that take it slow, get to know them. The Knight of Cups tends to have a little bit of this immature energy that sometimes follows, where it's like you go in head first, heart first, and you don't really get to know the person, and all of a sudden now you're like, too much. This is not what I thought it was going to be. You're not really the person I thought you were. Get to know them, Aries. Don't let those flood of emotions make you rethink some of the decisions, okay? Use your head and heart. But again, take things slow. Don't overcommit to someone that you're not necessarily ready or that you know very well, okay? Taurus. King of Swords. So strong Aquarius energy here with the King of Swords, Taurus. This is going to be asking you to be very logical. Use that strong intuition, Taurus. You guys don't necessarily like the change, but I think this is about it's like using your intuition to figure out the path that you're supposed to be on to help you make decisions. You may not have all the facts and figures, but the King of Swords is very good about just cutting through all the white noise and just seeing what you need to focus on. What is the core issue? What is the problem that you need to solve? This is also, for many of you, doing the research, really making sure that it's a fact-based decision, okay? Taurus, for some of you, you might have a little change, or you're thinking of a change in your career, Taurus. For a lot of you, the King of Swords can be a very militant type of energy. So being in a career, industry, or a company that has discipline, where you feel like you have, like, you know, you kind of know what box to play in. You have rules. There's a pathway that you can follow. It's like, if I go from A, I'll get to Z if I do this. But it's kind of like having this and I don't mean that you are militant. It's almost like you're becoming more disciplined. Maybe many of you are in the military or have that type of background, and you are bringing that into practice into your current job or situation. That kind of helps you get organized. Hopefully that makes sense. Gemini. Okay, so Gemini, you have the 9 of Wands. This is about not giving up, Gemini. Okay, yeah, Gemini. Oh my God, I forgot who I was on. Holy crap. Gemini. Okay, Gemini, I think that you're getting flustered and frustrated at the situation you're in. It feels a little bit more professional. Personally, it could be too, but I think, like, you know, the old saying is that everything happens at once. I kind of feel like that's what you're going through. Gemini, don't lose ground. Don't get frustrated. Don't give up. The 9 of Wands is, you're almost at an ending. You're almost at a completion, okay? Take a step back. Again, kind of what we talked about in this overview, the energy of this week. What are the things that you can control, and what are the things that you can't, Okay, even write it down. Maybe kind of collect your thoughts on paper, okay, so you can see it. Come to terms with certain things and then let them go, all right? This is a moment in time, Gemini, not your entire life. So Cancer, 9 of Pentacles. Cancer, love this energy for you. This is a very independent energy. For a lot of you, you could be self-made, meaning that you're running a successful business, or you will, but you actually have to go for it. 9 of Pentacles is leading you up to that 10 of Pentacles. So this is about creating financial stability and wealth, okay? This is being very smart and secure in where you are. This is also being very resilient, because the person who has this type of energy or at this place in life, they have definitely experienced setbacks, but you know how to bounce back. You know how to make that strong comeback, okay? So just remind yourself that you have so much tenacity and experience, Cancer, that even if you're experiencing a little setback, trust me, you're going to be right back in a very comfortable space. Leo. Okay, so Leo, you got the 9 of Swords, and I was shuffling these cards again. So Leo, this could just be a very pivotal week where you're starting to see things and areas in your life that you want to improve upon. Don't be so hard on yourself, Leo, okay? This is not about having a meltdown that you can't. This is about figuring out, taking small steps, having the strength, and tackle things step by step, okay? When you face like multiple things at once, and it's stressful and you feel just like completely powerless, a lot of times it feels overwhelming and it feels like the world is just dumping on you. Take a step back and really look at what are the things that you can change right now. Then what are the things that you can change tomorrow and the next day. Take it in bite-sized bits and not trying to solve it all at once, okay? Because then you're going to get overwhelmed and continue to stay that way. This, again, almost at a completion. Don't get in your head, Leo, okay? You're okay. You're going to make it through. But there is some healing work that needs to happen. And maybe it's just a long time overdue, okay? So, Virgo, 5 of Cups. Virgo, so Virgo, I feel like maybe this is the time of year where maybe it's just a longing for friends and family. Maybe you're not able to be with folks in the next few weeks, and or there's maybe a relationship in the past that is gotten you a little bit in your feels. There's nothing worse than going to a family party or gathering and you're asked like why you're single, if that's the case, or if there's been a breakup or something like that. Virgo, you know what? I'm not going to tell you not to feel it, because, you know, go through those cycles and realize that you have so much to give someone. But attaching yourself to a past situation where you're not able to be open to new things, new experiences, and new people, that could be problematic, okay? So work through this, because you have a lot going for you. So don't stay stuck in the past, because you're not going to solve and you're not going to be present for all the good stuff that is still in your life, okay? Libra, 2 of Pentacles. Libra, we know how much you love to balance everything, but in this week, maybe even the next couple weeks, you're going to be balancing quite a bit. You don't have to be everything to everyone, Libra. You need to take a step back and kind of take things off your plate. Okay, because what I feel like, you are very sweet and kind, big heart, and you want to say yes to everyone. But the problem is that all of a sudden now you're doing like 50 things that you didn't anticipate, but you don't want to let people down. So you could be juggling a lot in the next couple of weeks. It could be a lot going on at work, personal life. You could be hosting things. You could have raised your hands to volunteer, and now it's becoming a lot. So again, prioritize. Scorpio. My lovely Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, you got 2 of Cups. Scorpio, 2 of Cups is always a great relationship card. But Scorpio, this is not the time to coerce anyone to start a relationship or to be in a relationship. This is a very positive card, but but Spirit is giving me kind of like more like warning signs. Okay, so Scorpio, if you're in a partnership with somebody, you have to give them space, freedom. You have to trust them. I know that's a very hard thing for you. You cannot control everything. But even if you start something, Scorpio, please take it slow. Scorpio, you can be very intense. And a lot of signs sometimes don't know how to handle that, okay? So we love you, Scorpio. Just take things in very slow increments if it's relationship based, okay? Especially if it's new. If it's continuing relationship and you're all good, enjoy each other's presence, enjoy each other, the love that you have for one another. But if it's new, Scorpio, go slow, okay? All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. And again, if you're looking for gift ideas, head to my website because you can gift a reading. You can purchase a tarot candle reading. Lots of good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.